Okay. Okay. Wait, honestly, just mute me. Honestly, I'm not even gonna. I need to turn on my.
Small, and these players have the capability of being able to get into the top 10. 2 more games played. I wonder who's going to take it all, but let's go down to the stage. We got Jordan standing by with our Game 4 winner song.
And a huge Game 4 win for Psalm. Now sitting at 2nd place in the standings. Looking really, really good right now. We're just talking about that high ground take. You said I didn't think that it was going to work, but real domination right there at the end. What was your thought process going up against such a stacked final 10 people? I mean, some of the players that were there are all capable of clutching this up.
After I got the high ground, I was just focused on playing safe, make sure I don't lose the high ground, make sure no one impulses up to take my high ground. And then, I let everyone on the ground do their thing, and then I clean up.
The cleanup was real. Back to you, Golden.
Always a pleasure to hear from Psalm, a veteran in competitive Fortnite, and doing it once again. No shocker there. He takes the risk, he makes a bold play, and sometimes it pays off. In that instance, it definitely did. He's coming out quite pretty from there. I believe was in 2nd place, currently in the standings. That was a nutty game.
He's been in top 10 this whole time. Since the competition has begun, he's been chipping away at placement. And that last one was a huge victory for him. And that is exactly what he wanted and needed here to keep him relevant.
So many great moments in that game. And while we had the best seat in the house, there were some moments that maybe we didn't catch. And the good news is we got one of the best VOD reviewers in the game, always standing by to break it all down.
Thank you so much, GB. Yes, we have 2 games remaining. It looks like Psalm and Boog are repeating that first game success early on. They're going to move forward at the top of the leaderboard. But for now, we're going to take a look at some of Rux's performances and some of his shots that push him up to 5th. So while we roll these clips, Rux in the end game. First, he set himself up brilliantly in the early game against Arkham. We've talked about Arkham a number of times. This duel has been going on every single game here. Rux takes the better of Arkham and gets the loadout that he needs to push on forward here with the infantry rifle and the combat shotgun, and heals to boot. Only 1 map remaining through this entire time. Doesn't quite get those mats after finding the elimination onto Core Gaming, so he's working through old structures here, other player structures. And that's when you start going sneaky beaky mode. He stays crouched, make sure that no sound is coming through for that elimination onto Slaya. He had high ground in this position. A nice shot there onto Light. Unbelievable flick shot with the combat shotgun. And then this is when I believe it was somebody else took retake. It's Stompy. Rux brings himself up into 5th place with that. We'll see if he continues to climb. But for now, we've got 2 more games to go. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you so much for breaking that down, Rux, who is in the top. You always see his name, whether it be solos or even in duos, along with his team Pika. They always have great events. So no shocker there. But this is, what a wild ride, right? We've been on 10 weeks up until this point. All these players from around the world. I love looking at that top 10 as well, man, because it really is a great international game that we have here with Fortnite.
Yeah, you saw it unfold. Like, who would have thought King would be the man to show up today and be, like, on honestly, the energy for the arena here, because he has had some of the wildest moments so far in his journey through this World Cup weekend.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. It's been a wild ride here, but that's going to do it for myself and Monster D-Face the Boricua boys. There we go, brother. Always a pleasure to cast with you. Now we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, Courage and Dr. Lupo take the stage one more time, and then we crown our Fortnite World Champion. We'll see you in just a few.
Hello, Fortnite fam. I am PookieFace_. I am joined here at the front of house with David, and we're going to talk a little bit about how all of these systems work, how we are bringing the Pro-Am, Creative Cup, and the World Cup to you guys. To meet you. Thank you for joining me here. What do all of these buttons do behind us? Tell me a little bit about what all of the technical things are here.
So basically, this is controlling all of the lighting and all of the video positions. So, videos that you see on all the screens, any camera shots that go up there. And we're also making sure that everyone's lights are the right levels for player faces and everything else.
So it's your job to just make everyone look great, is technically what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Now, I know that you have some facts about the lights, the LEDs. Give me a little bit of some factoids about how all of this production pulls power and, you know, what goes into all of this.
Absolutely. There's about 1,200 lighting fixtures in the room currently. We have about 18 4K video outputs to go to all the big screens. We're running about 98 million pixels worth of video space, and it's taking about 2,000 amps of power, which is about enough to run about 15 homes.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today and introduce me to all of these working parts. But there are so many more things that go into all of this. So when you guys are out in the stands watching the World Cup this weekend, you have David to thank for everything.
Dub said, look, I've qualified. I'm just going to come back and just flex on literally the entire region.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the fact that you can be so consistently good in one of the major regions. The best of the best aren't concerned with just barely making it. They want to win every fight. They want every point. That's why he's in first. There's a reason he's one of the best solo players on the planet.
처음에 your sides. However, you save materials by doing this. The materials you spend covering your sides quickly add up. Then, if you need to go diagonally to get where you need to go, your offensive players just go diagonally. It's basically very simple. You just change direction to go. Once left, once right. This is very useful since sometimes you'll encounter enemies that you want to get away from on the road to the Victory Royale, or the next safe zone is in a diagonal direction. So just change directions and move, but make sure to stay safe from this time. Now we talked about how you're exposed from your sides. In both versions, you can add walls to either side, or both left and right, or even in front as well. This gets really hard and really fast, and this is why it's so impressive that not only are these high-level players tunneling so fast and without error, but at the same time going for crazy plays on unsuspecting opponents to rack up elimination points as well as points. It's a lot to take in, and oftentimes they do things so fast that you can't even keep up. Watching players like Cease, Bizzle, Mongrel, Benji Fishy, and all the players playing in the Fortnite World Cup Online Open play from their tunnels can be jaw-dropping. So there you have it. Tunnels. One of the most important skills in competitive Fortnite. It's pretty simple in its core, but at the high pace of these competitive make sure to hop in creative mode and do just that. You can practice it in the open on your own island, or using the many amazing pre-built training courses that creators
My name is Turner, aka Tifu. I qualified from the North American East region.
He's trying to sneak him in. Trying to sneak him in. Can he get him to drop it?
What is that angle?
He hits all of the shots.
The day I qualified, I was pretty hyped. I didn't even believe it was real at the time. I don't know. I was just kind of streaming, grinding, doing my own thing, and I tried my hardest and succeeded, I guess.
Landing all the way up top, drops him. Fire 100. Follow through on the shot. Literally reading my mind.
Has qualities that no other players have. It's so mature.
안녕하세요. 요한입니다. 플레이어 닉네임은 뜨제입니다. 나이는 그리고 14살입니다.
Disciplined. Hood J drops down. He's focused. That was an ambitious play. He wants to push it. What a charge through the box in there. That's what he needs to do to become the best.
여기 간 다음에 제일 중요한 거는 이걸 타고 여기부터 먹어.
I'm Juno. I'm the coach for T1's Fortnite division.
페이터는 여기 안 밀어. 여기는 거의 완전.
I first met Ujay is one of the free agent.
베스트가 아이스크림 먹고
He's the best player in our team.
저는 포트나이트 선수로서 일선에 있는 앞으로 저희 팀원은 가족 같고
The team really looks at the little brother that everybody wants to take care of.
저는 일어나자마자 밖에 나가 있는 집에서 포트나이트를 할 수 있다는 거에 대해서
His tempo is quite a bit faster than a lot of the other players.
Hood J runs on forward.
아무래도 전설이나 편집이라든지 많이 있어서이기도 하고 제 로컬을 보여주기 때문입니다. 저는 포트나이트 게임을 시작할 때 이기자라는 목적으로 많이 시작합니다.
He wants to always be creative, always change up his playstyle, and steal the tempo from his opponents.
제가 끝나면은 자랑스럽게 해드릴게요. 꼭 몸 관리 잘하시고 어디가 끝나면 바로 갈게요. 집으로. 네. 세계 최고 플레이어가 되고 싶은 이유는 아무래도 부모님인 것 같습니다. 가끔씩 부모님이라는 생각이 가끔씩 들어서 이게 동기부여가 되지 않나.
Realize how talented he is just yet. I am just so impressed with the team here with Jay.
I'm so happy we made it. This is literally like a dream. Freaking out.
Gentlemen, huge shout out to Mike Realm. Spin it up there, guys. Give it up for him. And now we are
you get during mic, do you? You don't have a mic.
Crowning our first Fortnite World Champions in solos. History is about to be made here, folks. And now I want to ask everyone here in the arena, are you ready? Let's do it one more time. I'm going to ask you again. Are you ready? Let's send it over to your casters for the last two games, Courage and Dr. Lupo.
Over a year ago, the Fortnite World Cup was announced, and here today it culminates in the final two games of the solos competition. $30 million in prize money this weekend, and in two games, Dr. Lupo, we will crown another Fortnite World Champion.
We've seen a ridiculous number of plays from everybody on the field. Even moments like King going out, literally the first eliminated one game immediately after just slaying out in the lobby. We love to see gameplay like that, very aggressive from a number of players that honestly a lot of us didn't even expect to show up on the board. You have to remember though, every single player that has qualified for the solo finals here at the Fortnite World Cup in New York City is at the top of their game. 40 million people play through. This is what's left, the best of the best of the best.
We know the storylines continue throughout this lobby of the 100 best players in the world. We have 2 games left. Our standings, well, they're very close, and Sundown's going to update us on where they lock up.
Thank you so much for matches to decide. Champion solo player who is the best of the best of the best. We're going to take a look at what the standings currently look like and what needs to happen. So, the first thing you're going to see right away is runaway train Booga up top. 1 victory royale leading the pack. 15 eliminations at 37 points, 8 points clear. But we talked about it a little bit yesterday and a lot during the qualifiers. What is a reasonable game to expect? We've seen a lot of the victory royales today actually coming from more